Hi, today's devotion is on the question of whether or not Islam can be found in the Bible. And the answer to that is yes and no. The no part of that response is that you don't find the word Islam or Muslim for that matter found in the Bible. The yes part is that many people would trace the history of Islam back to the Bible, and in particular to Genesis 16. Most people think of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam as the three Abrahamic faiths. They can all trace their heritage back to the person of Abraham. Judaism traces their lineage back to Abraham through Isaac. Christianity traces back to Abraham through faith, as Paul talks about that in Galatians. And Islam traces its history back to Abraham via Ishmael. And so because of Ishmael being the eldest son of Abraham and its relationship to Islam, you can say that the early strands of Islam certainly are found in the Bible. And the place to look in particular is Genesis 16 for some of those connections, but also in Genesis 17. So the story of Hagar having a child with Abraham is talked about in Genesis 16, and she is told to name him Ishmael. And Ishmael then is talked about as somebody who would be on his own in the desert, and the text says in verse 12 that everyone's hand will be against him, and he shall dwell over against all his kinsmen. And so that seems to indicate that there will be tension between Ishmael and Isaac, the son of Abraham through Sarah. So there does seem to be a prophecy, if you will, of tension between the two kinsmen, as it were. It's interesting to note that when Abraham dies, both Ishmael and Isaac come together to bury Abraham with no apparent confrontation or no kind of conflict at all. It is also important to see in Genesis 17 that when God tells Abraham he's going to have a son through Sarah, namely that son being Isaac, Abraham responds that he is perfectly content with Ishmael to be the son. God says, no, I'm going to give you a son by way of Sarah, but I will bless Ishmael. And God said in Genesis 17, verse 20, it says, as for Ishmael, I have heard you. Behold, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful and multiply him greatly. He shall father 12 princes, and I will make him into a great nation. And so there you have this blessing that God is going to be giving on Ishmael, in addition to the blessing that he will later give to Isaac. And so you can trace the roots of Islam, I think, back to Ishmael, the eldest son of Abraham. Thank you. God bless you.